Law enforcement provided new details today on another disturbing incident from yesterday, a Cybertruck that exploded in front of the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. Police identified the man who was driving the truck as 37-year-old Matthew Livelsberger, an active duty member of the Army's elite special forces. Police said that he shot himself in the head before a device detonated a combination of fireworks, gas, and camping fuel in the bed of the vehicle. Joe Schoeneman of Nevada Public Radio has been reporting on this, and I spoke with him earlier. Joe, welcome to the NewsHour. Thank you for being with us. So we now know the identity of this suspect. What more did law enforcement have to say today about who this guy is and more about his background?
Well, he has an extensive career in the military. Beginning in 2006, he was a Green Beret, and I'm going to take a look at some of my notes here, a Green Beret active duty special operations soldier. He'd been based in Germany. He was back on approved leave in Fort Collins, Colorado, when he rented this Cybertruck from through this organization or through this company called Turo. And he just has an extensive 19-year military background with no previous issues and no criminal activity that they could find in his background.
So one of the biggest questions people have had is whether there's any kind of connection between what happened here and in this particular incident and also the attack in New Orleans. Did law enforcement have anything to say about that today?
They really did. You know, Sheriff Kevin McMahill of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department said he knows, and they've all been watching what's happening on social media. They're reading everything, and people are making these connections because both of these men had once been stationed in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Both of them served in Afghanistan in the same year, but they've also found no overlap between the two, no probable connections or communications between the two. But they said, you know, these are such coincidences that they're looking more into it.
So what kind of questions did people have today that law enforcement still doesn't have answers for, and where does the investigation go next?
Motive, FBI special agent in charge of the Las Vegas area, came on and said they are searching literally worldwide for motive, to see if there's a motive. One of the reporters asked if this was specifically a suicide mission, and Sheriff McMahill said, would only call it a suicide. And somebody else asked whether or not this truck had been purchased specifically because it would allow the explosion to go up rather than out, because the explosion went up. The sides of this truck were so strong that it didn't blow outwards and cause a lot of damage to nearby.
Joe, we also know law enforcement's been searching the suspect's home in Colorado. Did we learn anything about that?
All they could talk about is that they are searching the home, but they didn't have any kind of information to bring forth. Again, Sheriff Kevin McMahill said they've started this investigation, but they haven't even started looking at phone records yet. They haven't even gotten into any of the computer information that either of these people, one in New Orleans or one here, might have logged on their computers. So they're really at the very start of this investigation.
And Joe, since you're there, just tell us, what's the reaction been like on the ground as people are trying to figure out exactly what happened here?
You know, they went through the shooting here in 2017 when 58 people were killed on the Las Vegas Strip. The pandemic, Las Vegas was one of the hardest hit places in the country. And I think people are just in a quandary. I think people realize this, they're starting to realize this was an isolated incident. The sheriff made that very clear. They don't see any other suspects. They have no evidence of anybody else involved. So I think people feel safe. They're just wondering, why here?
All right, Joe Schoeneman of Nevada Public Radio joining us tonight. Joe, thank you. We really appreciate your time.
You're welcome.